and welcome to The Rest is Football with Alan Shearer, Micah Richards and me, Gary Lineker. On today's episode, we're going to be previewing some of the big games in the Premier League this weekend. But firstly, there's only one place to start today, and that's the trade-off of statements between Alexander Isak and Newcastle United. Sorry, Al. Before we get your reaction to them, let me read out the statements. Isak: "I've kept quiet for a long time while others have spoken," he wrote. "That silence has allowed people to push their own version of events, even though they know it doesn't reflect what was really said and agreed behind closed doors. The reality is that promises were made and the club has known my position for a long time. To now act as if these issues are only emerging is misleading. When promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue. That's where things are for me right now, and why change is in the best interests of everyone, not just myself." Newcastle's response, which came pretty quickly after. "We are clear in response that Alex remains under contract and no commitment has ever been made by a club official that Alex can leave Newcastle United this summer. We want to keep our best players, but we also understand players have their own wishes and we listen to their views. As explained to Alex and his representatives, we must always take into consideration the best interests of Newcastle United, the team and our supporters in all decisions, and we've been clear that the conditions of a sale this summer have not transpired. We do not foresee those conditions being met. This is a proud football club with proud traditions, and we strive to retain our family feel. Alex remains part of our family and will be welcomed back when he is ready to join his teammates, or rejoin his teammates, I should say." Alan, let's start with the Isak statement. I mean, what a mess. What a pickle your club's in, really. It's such a shame. Sad, really, isn't it?
Very sad after what should have been Newcastle kicking on after winning their trophy and finishing in the Champions League spot, albeit fifth. It should have been a great pre-season for them, but obviously it's been overshadowed by this, mostly this and other signings they can't get, or they couldn't get through the door. But it's a sad situation. It really is. I mean, I was flabbergasted at his statement. Obviously, because he couldn't attend the PFA Awards, he felt, and his representatives felt that it was best he needed to put something out. But that was just chucking petrol on the fire. I mean, it was just bizarre, wasn't it, to say that someone had agreed verbally with him or his agent. I mean, you're in football, for goodness sake. I would have a look at the agent if I was him to say, why on earth have you advised me or let me sign a 6-year contract without any get-out clause? That's what I would have had. You need something in writing. When you're in a strong position, as he was, when they were paying £60-odd million for him on a 6-year deal, then there is no get-out clause. And you know as well as I do, we've all been in the game long enough. You can't just accept if someone says, and by the way, who was it? What did they say? And when did they say it? That would be the next question.
Yeah, that's unclear.
But you can't just accept and say, "Oh, okay, at the end of the season, then we'll might perhaps agree to let you go verbally." That football doesn't work like that. We've all been in it long enough. We know how it works.
Al, can I just ask you, who's taking care of football matters at Newcastle at this moment in time? Because it just seems like a whirlwind.
Well, we said it, haven't we? I said it a month ago. I said it 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, that Newcastle haven't got a chief executive at the minute. They haven't got a sporting director, which I don't think has helped business this summer.
Let me just jump in, if I may, just for a second, because this has been quite widely reported that it may have been Amanda Staveley that was said to have said something to Alexander Isak. Now, she isn't there anymore, of course. So I don't know if that's true, but that's the rumour at present.
Yeah, and it's still exactly the same point. You know as well as I do, get things in writing in football. When you're talking about loyalty and footballers and football clubs, it doesn't work. I get it. It's the other way around. When a club wants to get rid of you, they just get rid of you. But on the other hand, you have a 3-year contract. You can't just not train and not play. You can't do it. No. Have a look at your agent. A statement last night, the words that are coming out, the saying of, well, we had a verbal agreement with someone. I mean, come on. Why let your client sign a 6-year deal without a get-out clause?
I've backed Isak all the way because he's not said anything. And I feel as though you can spin a narrative against the player. But the statement yesterday, I think that the words were, change is best.
I'll read it here for you, Micah. The last paragraph was, when promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue. That's where things are for me right now, and why change is in the best interests of everyone, not just myself.
Yeah, but the change in the best interest for everyone, but he doesn't decide that.
No, he can't speak for everyone else. He can only speak for himself.
You've got a contract with the club, and I've defended him. I've been on all the broadcasters saying, well, I don't think it's fair to have an opinion when you don't know what's happening. But now he's spoken, and those were his words. I feel like now he's disrespected the club. That now, for me, is overboard.
Yeah. Crossed the line.
I don't think that's fair to himself, to his teammates and the fans, you know? I know we had a bit of a laugh and joke with Al the other day about train fares and all that sort of thing, but I didn't want to jump to conclusions because I didn't think it was fair, but now I feel he's crossed the line.
Yeah, but, change for all parties. Well, okay, who's going to come and pay what Newcastle want for you if they decide to sell you? Like, are Liverpool going to pay the 140 or 150 million? It's all right saying change is best. It still boils down to two very important points. First one being, can Newcastle get a replacement? And the second one, probably the most important one, is who's going to pay what Newcastle want for you?
What would you accept, Alan, right now?
I guess they would want 150 million, 140. Yeah. I don't know. I guess so. If someone's prepared to pay for that for you, then okay. And the other one is, as I said, can Newcastle get replacements in?
Well, Newcastle have also thrown out a slight olive branch by their final words that Alex remains part of our family and will be welcomed back when he is ready to rejoin his teammates. And obviously that's if as well.
I thought it was a really measured, calculated statement from Newcastle. I really did. So, because it also sends a message out to others as well, because what happens if Tonali wants to leave next year or Bruno wants to leave next year and Newcastle let Isak go just like that? I think it sends a message out. It's just been a very, very messy situation. And it's the players and Eddie who you have to feel sorry for because they're the ones that have got nothing to do with this. And they're the ones that are trying and battling and scrapping to try and get points while he's having a huge row. This will have,
you would think they will have a resolution at the end of the transfer window, because if it doesn't happen, the move by then surely he's not just going to sit out and wait until possibly January. It's going to make it very awkward when he comes. I mean, what footballers are like, they'll just take the piss. But it will make it a very awkward relationship with the supporters, who are the most important thing at any football club.
Before people get on that high horse and say, Newcastle are doing the same with Wissa, I don't agree with that either. If he's refusing to train or play, I don't like that. It's not a good look for a player. And Newcastle have had a bid turned down.
Yeah, 40 million, which I thought probably should be about right, given his age. But
it's one of those where Brentford know Newcastle are desperate. They know they're going to have a right few quid and have got a few quid. So I don't know. I haven't got a clue what will happen.
We'll get the Wissa statement tomorrow. The Wissa statement will come out tomorrow.
Would you welcome him back though, Al?
Yeah.
Is there a way back for Isak?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, I think it would have to be done before the transfer window closes, if that is going to happen. And it's a big if, a huge if, very unlikely if. If it's going to happen, then I think it has to happen before the window closes, because otherwise it's just, I'm stuck here and I have to play or I have to do this, and he's made his feelings known. But I think there's always a way back. You know how it's happened before, wasn't it? Modric, wasn't it? One of a few, actually. Modric was at Tottenham where he wanted to leave for Chelsea, I think it was. And there was made to sit and play that season, and then he went to Real Madrid after that. And I think he was brilliant in that season. So I think there is a way back, but I would think it has to be done before the window closes.
It's such a shame having the highs of last season, Alan, that first trophy and everything that followed, and then obviously, doing so well in the league as well after that Champions League, and then to have something like that, it's a real dampener, isn't it, on things? Do you think also, though, I mean, we've talked about this a lot now, but also the PSR rules as well, the fact that Newcastle have not been allowed really by the rules, because we know their owners are wealthy, so probably the wealthiest of any owners anywhere, and could make big moves in the transfer market. But perhaps the fact that they can't do that. It's almost a closed shop now. The top 5 big spending clubs will continue to be able to spend, and the rest of them, I should say until, because they have to change this rule at some point. They can't compete. They can't get into that term. I mean, Newcastle got us probably as close as they can get. Do you think that has played a part in this? Inevitably?
Yeah, I think so. I think because Newcastle, I mean, it sounds crazy, doesn't it? But and the normal working guy who'll look at this and think, Newcastle can't pay the huge wages that the big 5 can. And I guess, and I understand it, that he wants to join a huge football club who are guaranteeing him, I don't know, let's guess at 300 grand a week, where Newcastle can pay him just over 100 and won't be able to pay anywhere near that salary. So, but he's the one, and him and his agent are the one that signed that 6-year deal without a get-out clause. So that is the problem to me, as well as the PSR that Newcastle can't pay that.
I just find the whole situation, obviously it's sad, but it's intriguing too, because there has to be a conclusion. I would, if I was Newcastle, take a little bit less, because if he stays there and his head's not right, then his value's only going to go down. So say Newcastle want 150 million. Liverpool want to pay 110. You meet somewhere in the middle and you say thank you, and then you go again, don't you? When Liverpool sold Coutinho, everyone thought it was going to be doom and gloom. But maybe you can use that money. It'll help you out financially. You can get some more players within the squad. Yes, strikers are very difficult to find right now, but you don't want to have a player who's unhappy at your club, and the fans don't want you at the club, and the manager doesn't know what to do with the situation. And then the episode continues week after week after week about Isak, is he going to play? When's he going to be fit? And it's just bringing, I don't know, it becomes the Isak show when it's supposed to be about the Newcastle show.
No player is bigger than a football club.
Correct.
Yeah, and they don't. They move in, they go away. It's the same with managers and coaches, but the fans are the ones that stay there all the time.
Exactly.
But I totally agree with that, Micah. And it's a big but, because they've been looking for 3 or 4 weeks now, or even longer, to bring those players in, and they haven't been able to. So it's all right saying, well, yeah, do you take the 130 million, but who are they going to play? You saw what happened at the weekend in terms of Gordon up front. So if they can't get players in, how do you let him go?
Well, I mean, the fact they've already bid 40 million for Whistler and had that, I know it's been turned down, but it suggests that they probably want to do, definitely trying their best now to get someone in.
That's one. That's a replacement for Callum Wilson.
Well, you could say it's a replacement for Callum Wilson, or you could say it's a replacement for both of them.
Okay. Well, you can't then just bring one forward if you let them two go. So
but
but why didn't they give him another deal?
Who?
With all Newcastle must have known at the time there was an episode with Isak. Why let Callum Wilson go until you've got the players in that you want?
Yeah, but he was out of contract.
Give him another year. He's only signed a year at West Ham, hasn't he?
He hardly played. He hardly was injured so much, wasn't it? So, and he's done great. He did a great job at Newcastle, Callum Wilson. But I think the time was right to let Callum go and do whatever he had to do, because his contract was up.
Guess who's playing at the weekend? I mean, it's mad how the fixture list sometimes does this beautifully, doesn't it? Newcastle versus Liverpool. Of course it is.
Monday night, yeah, I'll be at the match as well.
Are you going to the game?
Yeah.
Do you think Isak will be there?
No. Do you?
Not a chance. Not a chance.
It'll be an incredible atmosphere. It really will.
I think
it's a bit tasty anyway, Newcastle, Liverpool, so it's a bit of added spice, I think, don't you?
Yeah. Why don't you do a swap deal for Ekitike? Just to stir things up a little bit. Sorry, but you know, you've got to try and see the funny side of these things. But especially for fans, and you are a fan of Newcastle. I mean, it's brutal. It's brutal. Just before we take the break, as we're on Liverpool, just a little congratulations to Mo Salah. Football of the Year, the first player to do it from the PFA version for 3-time winner. You won it twice, Alan. Yeah. So, I mean, such a consistently brilliant performer. I mean, we've waxed lyrical numerous occasions about Mo Salah on this podcast, but there's nothing wrong with doing it one more time.
You got in twice, did you, Al? What years?
Yeah, can we name the others? I think I might be right in saying there is...
Thierry Henry.
Thierry, definitely.
There was 8 that have won it twice or more.
Cristiano, I think. Did he?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Thierry Henry's got off with he's forwards. They always give it to forwards, don't they?
Well, we're better players. That's the way. Do you think supporters come to football matches to watch defenders, Micah?
Yes, I do actually.
Alexander Isaks of this world when they turn up.
Some of the biggest cheers at football games are tackles. Did you see Ellen Rowe the other day bouncing?
Yeah.
When young Nonto was running around and tracking back and tackling, they was loving it. So, yes, they come to see us.
I'm telling you now, Micah, when they go home, when they fans go home from a football match, their team's just won. They're talking about the goal. They're not talking about someone's, tackled someone on the halfway line.
I can guarantee you the roar when the ball hit the back of the net was a damn sight louder when someone went in for a crunching tackle.
Correct.
Kevin De Bruyne, Gareth Bale, Thierry Henry, Ronaldo, Salah.
Oh, he knows them all, blimey.
Is it? Is that? I think that's it. Have I missed one? Maybe I've missed one.
I don't know. If you have, we'll find out who the one you've missed, if you have missed, while we take a break. Welcome back to the Rest is Football with Micah Richards, Alan Shearer, me, Gary Lineker. When we left you, we were trying to work out who'd won the PFA Football of the Year award twice, Alan being one of them, of course. And I think we got all of them in the Premier League era. There are obviously some before that, people like, Mark Hughes, etc.
Yeah.
I only won it once, but... God, you got that one on me, Al.
I got nominated for young player a couple of times.
I top flight for 6 years, so that's my excuse.
Yeah. You got nominated, Micah.
For young player. Yeah. I think I got ousted by Ronaldo and Fabregas. So
well, they're forwards, you see, Micah. It's rigged against you. It's rigged. The whole thing is rigged.
It's rigged.
You got no chance. Let's look ahead at there's some interesting fixtures this weekend. None more so, I think, apart from Newcastle, Liverpool, which I can't wait to watch that. But Manchester City against Spurs. Great start for Spurs. I know it was only against Burnley. Sorry, Tony, didn't mean it that way. That's Tony, my business partner. So, big test for Thomas Frank, who's got a pretty good record against at City when he was with Brentford.
I'm going big this year. I'm going to say Richarlison's going to get 20. As long as he stays fit, Premier League goals.
Yeah. I mean, if he stays fit, he's got a lot of ability, but he's obviously been a bit unlucky with injuries in previous years. But he's got a lot of talent, and also I thought it was quite interesting that Romero signed a long-term contract, 6 years, I think it was. Although we know sometimes players want to get out after 3. Sorry, Alan. And I think that says quite a lot because he's quite heavily linked. People assumed that he'd perhaps go to Madrid at the end of next season. And I think it's a bit of a statement and the way things are happening, that perhaps the players are really satisfied with the new appointment of Thomas Frank. I don't know, I might be reading too much into it, but
I think, we've worked with him, and he's a great bloke, and you can tell straight away how engaging he is, how fixated he is about football and the tactics and everything else. And he did a great job at Brentford, so he deserves a crack at another club, and if he takes that, I'm sure Spurs will do well. Judging by their first game, he's already changing things rapidly on the pitch, style of play, different systems, balls into the box, a little bit more direct. So, yeah, I think he'll do really well there.
It's funny, I was out walking the dog a few weeks ago here in Barnes Common, And we're wandering around. This chap came up. He said, "Oh, hi, hello. I'm so and so I'm at Brentford. I think he said he was a physio. I was at Brentford, and he said, I've seen you with the dog before." So we had and it was at the time where I think he was just being appointed Spurs, Thomas Frank. And I said, what do you think? He went, honestly, he said, they have got a top class manager. He said, he's the best I've ever worked with. He said he treats everyone so well in the club. His man management of not just the players, but everyone right across the club is like no one I've ever known. It was a really glowing endorsement from someone that's obviously worked alongside him.
I think the difference is, and just going back to your Romero point as well, it's different at Spurs now because they've won something recently, you know?
And they're in the Champions League, Micah.
Correct. They win the Europa League. They're in the Champions League. There seems to be a new energy around the place and a belief as well. And Alan touched on it there. He can change the system. He can play 5, but he can also play 4. And I think what we was criticising Ange for last season, that he wasn't adapting, although he went a little bit deeper at times. I just think he's the right man for the job. And knowing that he's a good person behind the scenes as well, I have Spurs finishing high this season as well. I just hope they can do it.
I know. I've not changed shirt. Well, I have changed shirt since we recorded our episode. We did that on Wednesday. Subsequently, of course, Eberechi Eze has signed for Arsenal and not Tottenham. Bit of a disaster, really, for Spurs to lose out. I think they thought they had their man, but Arsenal have jumped in at the last moment. Significant coup for them. For Spurs fans, it will be hugely disappointing, of course. It's not the first time it happened. It happened with Morgan Gibbs-White as well, didn't it? Very similar circumstances. So clubs ended up with a bit of egg on its face at the minute, particularly, of course, against the North London rivals, Arsenal. But for Arsenal, it's a great signature, I think, and I suspect it fills that void that they had with, if not that much confidence, perhaps with Martinelli among some fans at Arsenal. And I think Micah said many times that he thinks they needed someone that can play on the left. He can play there, of course. He can also play in the 10 role if he has to. Hugely talented player, brilliant signing for Arsenal. As a former Spurs man, bit gutted, to be perfectly honest. But I think if you consider the fact that he was at Arsenal's academy, that he's been an Arsenal player since he was a kid, I think it's probably safe to say that he's not necessarily his heart has ruled his head, but his heart has won out. We'll carry on with the rest of the episode from Wednesday now, but I thought you should know that. Crystal Palace play Forest. That's another potential slightly needle affair, because don't forget that Crystal Palace were bizarrely relegated from the Europa League to the Conference League, and Nottingham Forest took their place from the Conference League into the Europa League. People say, well, perhaps Palace have got more chance of winning the Conference League. But I remember saying that to Steve. I said, well, actually, Steve Parish, the obviously chairman of Crystal Palace, and he said, yes, that may be true. He said, but you've got to remember one thing. If you win the Europa League, you're in the Champions League the following season. It's a really valid point. So I think, obviously Forest played some kind of part in this. So that could be a little bit feisty down at Selhurst Park.
And they're having a right go for us as well, aren't they, in terms of the transfer window? They've bought some players. They had a great first result. Chris Wood bagged his couple of goals, so he's off and running. So they should be full of confidence, shouldn't they?
Douglas Luiz is a good signing,
another
I think.
one, yeah.
Micah, we like him, don't we?
Yeah, really, really good player. Obviously, I first saw him at Man City, didn't play as much as he would have liked. Obviously goes to Villa, goes over to Serie A. He's a really good player because he can play so many different positions. He can be the deepest line midfielder, but he also can be a number 8 as well. So Forest are looking really tidy now.
Yeah.
Be a tough game at Palace, though. Palace, I thought, were excellent at Chelsea.
Yeah. They're a good side, Alan.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
I mean, you take away the awful start from last season, they're definitely comfortably would have been in the top half.
But then you look at what they're going to have to face. They might lose Eze and Gehi, which would be a huge blow to those two boys. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. At least they're playing anyway.
Yeah, and the other game I want to just bring up is which also I think could say a lot. I hate to say at this point in the season this could be a relegation 6-pointer, but Burnley versus Sunderland, two of the promoted clubs, as we've said a million times, that the clubs that get promoted have gone down the last 2 seasons. So Burnley had a tough start, but they were away at Spurs, which wasn't easy. Sunderland had a great start, but it is at Burnley. Burnley were comfortably above Sunderland, of course, in the league, in the Championship last season. So I think that could be, I think keep an eye. I mean, if Sunderland win, 6 points. I mean,
I know, can you imagine?
That's almost more than bloody Leicester got in the whole bloody season last year.
Incredible.
Yeah. So
let's see. I mean, Sunderland the confidence will be flying after their result and performance. Won't it? So,
I loved. We have a little group chat, obviously, around the rest is football, and Tony Pastor, my business partner, said, yeah, it's a big game. He said, I'm actually going to it. So I'm really looking forward to Alan taking the piss out of me when we play crap. Because you are very cruel at times to Tony, who lives and breathes that football club.
Bless him. He goes every single week, doesn't he? Home and away. So he's a proper supporter, isn't he? So I don't know. Let's hope he's got something to cheer about with the weekend.
So are you going to watch him on Match of the Day on Saturday, Al?
We haven't decided that. I'll get the call. What is it? Thursday? I should get the call tomorrow or Friday, and then see who I'm watching.
Well, it's me and you in there. You can decide who you want to go now.
Is that a 3 o'clock kickoff? Is it?
Man City's the early game at 12:30, so we'll share that, obviously.
Yeah.
Then we've got Bournemouth Wolves. I'll take that if you want me. And there's Brentford Villa, Burnley Sunderland. So there's only 3 at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I'll do Burnley Sunderland, definitely, yes.
Come
on, Burnley!
Can I watch the other one, please? Oh, no.
What are you doing Saturday, guys?
I'll be watching Match of the Day. I'll be watching the football. I'll be watching the early kickoff and the late kickoff, and I'll be doing it with a glass of wine in my hand. So anyway, I'll survive. Don't worry about me. We'll be okay. Well, that's it for this episode of The Rest is Football. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me. Have a good weekend.